Welcome to Socio-Witchery, a show about magic and meaning making. I'm Stacy, sociologist, witch, and energy worker. I'll be talking about how to deepen our craft and our lives by unpacking the meanings and exploring the meaning-making strategies underneath magic and all kinds of magical workings. This is episode 0, in which I'll be telling you a little bit more about who I am and what I do, and let you know exactly what this show is all about. I'm so glad you're with me. Let's unpack and explore. Given that this show is really about the intersection of a few different aspects of my background, I thought it made sense to introduce myself a little bit more and let you know exactly where I'm coming from so that you knew what to expect moving forward. I'll keep it fairly brief, and I'm thinking of this as kind of a preamble to our very first episode, which will be on Imbolc, and I'll say more about that later on. But let me tell you a little bit about where I'm coming from and the pieces of my biography that have led me to do this show. I am a sociologist by profession. I study gender, emotion, risk-taking, transgression, and transcendence. And I'm working a lot these days with Audre Lorde's notion of the erotic, which is a bit too much to unpack right now. And I'll leave it there for the moment. But I see all of this, all of my interests and my research as intertwined with the same principles that underlie magic and with the same experiences that are core to magical workings on multiple levels. I think that these are all related. Secondly, within sociology, I'm a symbolic interactionist. And again, I'll save the deep dive into what that means for another episode. But in a nutshell, symbolic interactionists are concerned with meaning making. We're really interested in how we create and construct and understand particular meanings, and everything is meaningful, how that all works sort of on a quotidian level. And I'm also a witch. I think that the best term is eclectic. It's not really feeling perfect for me these days, the term eclectic witch, but I know that it's increasingly useful for people to understand themselves that way. And it does describe my craft. I work with the moon, I work with the elements, candles, herbs, crystals, and the tarot. Lots of experience in multiple directions and all kinds of practices in my witchcraft. I am very spiritual, but atheistic, so I don't work with deities, and I'm using atheistic as an adjective on purpose, which I'll unpack in a later episode. But I think that because I don't work with deities, this really helps me to think deeply about some aspects of magic that maybe not everybody does. So certain sabbats and other magical narratives are really wrapped up in deities, for example, and so I've needed to come at this from a different angle, and I think a lot of that has yielded things that might be interesting and helpful for other people. So I'm very much still on this journey, but I've been at this a while, and I have a lot to share with all of you. And lastly, I'm also an energy worker. I work with several traditions within different energies. I work with 3 traditions in Reiki, a couple of in Psycheme, and 2 different Shambhala energies. So I do a lot of energy work for different reasons and in different contexts. I had a Reiki business for a while, and I taught classes not only in Reiki, but also classes thinking about gender and the chakras, thinking about biography, your own biography in energy work and in healing work, and what it means to be a feminist energy worker. So I've been interested in these kinds of themes for a long time. And again, they intersect with my sociological perspective and with my research. For me, energy, vibrational healing, chakras, alternative healing modalities, all of these are intertwined in my witchcraft and in my life. I've studied a lot and I've learned a lot and hope to offer you new insights and new ways to think about all of this in your own lives. So let me tell you a little bit more about the show. I've got several goals. The first is to explore the meanings underneath what we do, the meaning-making strategies that we employ, and in so doing to help you deepen your understanding of your magic and your connection to your craft. Secondly, and underneath this umbrella, so really that first one is kind of an umbrella over all of it, because I'm always interested in the meaning makings and the abstract connections and all of the implications of everything we're talking about. But I'm also interested in the nitty gritty. So I'll be also doing episodes on how to craft spells, create rituals, and follow the wheel of the year more personally, more authentically, and even more powerfully. And then lastly, I'm interested in how we can infuse our everyday moments with even more magic and magical meanings. So I plan to do episodes along all of these lines, and for me, they break down into several different themes, 4 different themes or kinds of episodes. And some might overlap, and they're not mutually exclusive categories, but I want to give you a sense of what to expect in terms of the kinds of episodes that I'll be doing. So the first, probably obviously, is deep dives into concepts and ideas that have to do with magic and witchcraft. Things like epistemology, which is the study of knowledge and how we know things and what counts as knowledge. The idea of the sacred, consciousness, and ways that you can use these explorations in your own life and your own magical workings to your own end. Another kind of episode that I will be doing is exploring the meanings around Sabbats and rituals, celebrations, and spellcrafting in order to give you new ideas, new insights, and new approaches in your own magical workings. And then I'm also interested in just sort of nuts and bolts episodes. So episodes about working with particular crystals and spell work and tarot readings, energy work, different healing modalities, and how to incorporate all of that into your craft. The last type of episodes that the show will feature is for my fellow media junkies out there. I spend far too much time critiquing, appreciating, and deconstructing all kinds of media, books, films, TV, from a feminist perspective, so I would like to share some of that. If you're interested in representations of women, witches, magic, extraordinary human experiences, the paranormal, my rants and reviews and critiques and thoughts might save you some time, might spark some interest, and of course, I look forward to your thoughts about what you're consuming in the mediaverse as well. So that's who I am, and those are the goals of the show. I'm thrilled that you were here with me today, and I hope you will join for the very first actual episode of this show, which will be about Imbolc and how we can roll around in the beautiful energy of Imbolc, which we have for a few more weeks. So I will talk to you then.